hurricanes, floods, drought, some of the physical impacts of global warming and climate change. But have you ever considered that there is also a psychological impact? In our Keeping It Green, we hear from two youth advocates who are working on a project designed to treat with climate change and its impact on mental health, particularly that of children.
Rediscover Flow at discoverflow.co. Flow, inspired by you.
There are several ways that climate change can actually affect mental health.
National Coordinator of the Caribbean Youth Environment Network in Trinidad and Tobago, Michaela Hussein, one of several youth advocates implementing the Climate Change and Mental Health Advocacy and Resilience Capacity Project. The aim is to equip children with the knowledge necessary to build their resilience and to enhance their engagement in climate and mental health discourses.
We've seen it that young people are actually very vulnerable to the climate crisis. In fact, we have local research indicating that young people are one of the most vulnerable groups to heat waves and increases in temperature from the Vulnerability and Capacity Assessment report done by the Ministry of Planning and Development. So this is just one of the linkages.
She notes that even as climate change advocates, they can also experience burnout.
Because we do a lot in this space and because we feel like it's such a big issue to address that sometimes you can get caught up just doing and doing and you don't really think about how it impacts you and you suddenly start to get tired.
Mental health advocate Emily Anna Bechan notes the stress of dealing with a natural disaster can be overwhelming for young persons, especially those about to or just entering puberty.
There's so much happening in these spaces that, you're learning, you're growing, you're trying to figure out yourself and all of these things in the same breath where, things are happening in the world, happening in your own homes, in the environment. And when there are hurricanes and when there are storms and all of these things, it puts a lot of stress on a young person's mind and where they see themselves, and it's just that worry and that ambivalence that they may feel. And it's a vulnerable feeling.
She says they also feel anxiety, experience mood changes and social withdrawal. This is where Young Caribbean Minds hopes to make a difference. It's a digital mental health hub designed by children and youth from 17 Caribbean countries.
With the YoungCaribbeanMinds.org platform is that we are going to offer a variety of different resources, like journaling, and there's a workbook that you can do a lot of activities in, and you can identify, just even identifying your emotions sometimes can help you. It can be that first step to coping with a situation.
She points to one area that can help both the environment and your health.
And one of our big objectives and purposes is really to encourage volunteerism in sustainable development and environmental issues among young people. And that's also a way that you can feel like you're coping with the issue because it makes you feel like you're helping make a positive difference.
The Young Caribbean Minds website also features a Caribbean directory to access services and hotlines that are available, and a workbook to further engage and encourage youth to make the connection between the environment and mental health.
So if you go through the workbook itself, you're going to find like gem spots, basically. So there will be places that you probably never knew about in Trinidad that you'll be like, oh, where is that? I need to go figure that out. And that is like a place where you could go unwind your mind and relax and essentially get in touch with, grounding techniques. If I want to speak about the mental health aspect of it, where youths need to go outside and play, don't just be on your phones, like go in the sand and touch things and really embrace nature because it's so good for you as a human being.
And there's an added bonus.
I would encourage you to go through and complete the workbook because you can actually win 2 tickets to a Caribbean destination courtesy Caribbean Airlines and $500 USD courtesy UNICEF. So there are different competitions. There's one for like individuals, which is completing the workbook, and then there's one for organizations.
And even as they encourage volunteerism and remind us that our mental health matters, they want us to know.
Your individual actions, even if you're not involved in a volunteer group, your individual actions make a difference. So don't ever forget that or let anybody dissuade you from that. Because I know it's a big problem, but we can all, if we all do something small, we can definitely make a big change.
I am Stacey Ann Providence, keeping it green for TTT News.
Healthy ecosystems provide the foundation for the sustainability of life on our planet. Various human activities, including pollution, threatens to disrupt the delicate balance of survival of the world's ecosystems, placing many animals at risk of extinction. Pollution from sources such as trash, carbon emissions, oil spills, and pesticides can deplete resources and drive away local animal populations. Climate change also plays a significant role as global warming has led to the increased temperatures, sea levels, and ocean acidity that disrupts an ecosystem's natural balance. We are the cause, and we are the solution. If we do not protect endangered species, we will ultimately fail to protect ourselves.
Rediscover Flow at discoverflow.co. Flow, inspired by you.
At Flow, we're inspired by all the things that go on in your home. Like the efforts you make to keep your connections healthy. Ooh, I love this part. And by your need for a release of endorphins that keeps you young and energetic. And by the couch potato in your home who hates to move more than an inch. So we gave you a remote that you can speak to.
House of the Dragon.
We were even inspired by this.
Mom, the Wi-Fi's down! Never mind!
We're also inspired by the young, enthusiastic athlete who understands how technology can improve their game. So, when you sign up at Flow to our fiber-powered network that now comes with gig speeds, you sign up for a network that's inspired by you. No wonder it fits your home so well.